signing on for another year. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think to be able to go around again with where the team is at is really pleasing, and it was probably something that I, at the start of the year, probably thought would maybe happen towards the end of the year or end of the season. For me personally, I was okay with it, to be able to sort of allow to worry about that at the end. For it to come around now is just, it's really pleasing. It's nice to get some acknowledgement of the hard work that I've put in, and show from the club's standing of where I am within the playing group and with the greater footy club. So yeah, it's really pleasing to have it sorted now.
Your 12th season playing AFL, do you feel like you've gone, I guess, another level this year, and this year's a way, I guess, that you've been rewarded for that effort and improvement?
Yeah, I think I've matured over my time, particularly the last couple of years at Freo, to understand my body, to understand my role and where I fit, and not putting too greater expectations of what I'm wanting to achieve. So for me, it's just been really simple, and to continue to go around again is just pleasing for the hard work that I've put in, and an understanding as you get sort of towards the late stages of your 20s and move into 30s that you're closer to the end than you are to the start. And so fundamentally, it's been about enjoying the ride, and the ride's been pretty good this year with what the boys have been able to produce.
Just finally from me, I mean, you're so close to finals now. What would it mean at this stage in your career to have a really good crack at finals and potentially make the grand final?
Yeah, I haven't won a final, and the 3 I think that I've played in, we haven't gone too well. There was one in 2014 where we lost an elimination final to North Melbourne, which was pretty tough to swallow, and the other 2 we weren't really in the game. So naturally, and looking from an internal perspective, it would be great to play more finals and hopefully win a few. And just to see this group evolve, it's something that is something that I think is sooner rather than later. But that being said, we still, I think, around 18 now, and that we can worry about that sort of later in the year.
Ethan Lee Chalk here. The Swans had an impressive win against the Dogs last week, especially in that first quarter. What are you expecting from them?
Yeah, their starts in the games that they've won recently have been really strong, and a reflection of the way Sydney play, and it's been their brand for a number of years. Tough, contested, pressure on the ball team, and that's what we're going to expect on the weekend. For us, it's our starts probably haven't been our absolute strong point, but we've been staying with and matching it with teams, and then sort of as the second half comes out, we've been able to play more of our brand and the style of footy that we want to play. But Sydney so don't necessarily allow that, and on the weekend they put up a really strong performance. So I would expect them to come out really fierce around the footy and their contested possession, to get the ball go their way and play it in their forward half. So we need to just match that, and then hopefully over the 4 quarters we can come out on top as the better team.
The depth at the club is so good where it's hard for some players to get a game. How does it feel to have some healthy competition for the spots?
It's great, and I think it started over pre-season, and there was an acknowledgement of that within the whole playing group. Speaking specifically among the forward line, we worked together, and there was a healthy competitiveness. And I think what is really strong within the playing group is a genuine desire to see the individuals do well when they come into the team. This healthy competitive situation we find ourselves in for spots is only a strong thing for the footy club moving forward. But it is disappointing for guys. Like, if you're not playing, you really want to be a part of it. So trying to acknowledge that in the way that we go about our week and our schedule, to make sure everyone's sort of feeling a part. And ultimately, if there's an injury or if there's some form, we want the next player to come in to fill that role and fill that gap. So no greater expectation on any player that plays, but the competition is brilliant to have at this time of year.
Good day, Trav. It's Justin Chadwick here from AAP. Congratulations on the new deal. I wanted to ask you about Manc Franklin. He's loved Optus Stadium with his 2 appearances so far. Without Alex Pearce, how do you guys go about trying to stop him?
Yeah, he's a fantastic player, and when we played last year, Griffin Lowe played on him, and Griffin actually played a really good game, and Buddy still managed to kick, I think it was 6. So I'm not 100% sure who will be going to him. I'm sure Griff or Coxie or one of the taller guys. And Buddy's just a player that his ability to have an impact on a game in a short period of time is something that we hope we don't see on the weekend. And we've just got to play a strong team defensive game to and effectively deny the ball in his hands. And so if we can play that in our forward half and pressure them around the ball, so even when he is getting a look and the ball's coming in towards him, it's not a clean lead and mark, then it definitely gives us a great opportunity to win the game. But our tall defenders and our defence as a whole have held up really strong this year. So whoever does go to him, our expectation is that they just play their role and perform, and hopefully we can get it done on the rest of the ground.
Yeah, you touched on that game last year where Griff actually did have a really good game. He must have just been stunned afterwards to have a good game and still have 6 goals kicked on him. It must have been quite bizarre. What did he say after that game?
I think he just had a little bit of a grin because he felt like he actually played his role really well, which we all acknowledged and he did. But he kicked some pretty amazing goals from some small opportunities, and that's the character of him as a player, is that he doesn't need much to hit the scoreboard and have a strong impact on the game. But for Griff, I think he definitely would have learned a lot out of that game, and I think his football this year is showing that he can be super flexible with what is presented to him, and I think it'd be a great opportunity for him this weekend if he's playing on Buddy to have another go and see if he can potentially keep him to scoreless or a couple. But whatever happens, it'll be good to watch, that's for sure.
Cool, thanks for that.
Trav, you touched on the depth just earlier. Is this, obviously missing Alex Pearce and Sam Switkowski, but is this close to the best 22 you've had all year?
I think so. I'm not really sure. I think what we've been able to do is whoever's been playing is to execute the game plan that Justin's put to us. What our best makeup is, I'm not 100% certain, particularly because we've only had one game, which I think was last week, and we've had no changes. So to be able to put 4 or 5 games in a row with the same team and who those best 22 players are is uncertain. To have some guys come back into the team and then to have some guys go out, we try to pride ourselves on the guys that are playing, and then when individuals come back from injury, putting them in a position that's best suited to the team to allow us to perform our best. So I'm not 100% certain, but yeah, obviously missing Alex and Sam this weekend isn't ideal, but to get them back, hopefully Alex in the next couple, I'm not 100% sure where he's at that, and Sam towards the back end of the season will definitely strengthen the team.
And those ends of Heath Chapman and Blake Hakers must be massive boosts for you.
Yeah, I think speaking about Blake and playing high forward and a bit of the wing at times with him, his consistency and predictability as a teammate has been massive. And he's taken a really strong step forward this year with that. And he's someone that I really enjoy playing with. And Chappie has been a real presence down in our defence. And to miss him for the last 3 weeks, or I think it was 4 weeks maybe, it'd be nice to get him back in. His enthusiasm and the way that he plays is something we really like playing along with. So to have those 2 guys back in strengthens those positions, but then it also allows other guys to be more specific in their roles and what they want to achieve on the game day.
Obviously, we heard through the week you go, Steve.
So, Trav, the fact that we're speaking via Zoom, do we take that you stepped up COVID precautions again?
We had a discussion as a football club and a playing group about what it looks like, and with the government's advice of the new variants coming through, it would be uneducated of us to not talk about it. So we are looking at it from the idea of making sure that we as players are making the right decisions to not compromise individually our spot in the side, because we do have healthy competitive competition in spots, and also probably what's happened in the competition over the last week and a half with some teams losing players to health and safety protocols. Our stance has just been really strong this year of wanting to go throughout the year and mitigate the risk at all costs, because it's going to give us the best opportunity to perform, and we feel like we've done that well. So there's been some nice conversations that have just realigned and made sure we're falling in line with the current safety advice, I guess, from the government, and internally what we want to do as a team, because the short term, you could call them sacrifices, but short term decisions that we're making for the greater good of the back end of the season are simple and just the right decisions to be made.
There's no fresh breach at the moment, nothing to worry about there.
I don't think so, not that I'm aware, no.
And this morning, a rare training run these days on Optus Stadium. Was it? Have you been there in a while?
We try and get here as often as we can, because it's great to familiarise ourselves with the ground. And then in the last couple of weeks with the rugby being here, that's prevented us from doing so. So it was nice to actually have the whole squad together, because it hasn't sort of happened too often up outside main training. So always good to get out on Optus and just to give us that sort of home ground feel and familiarity with the playing surface.
Travis, congratulations on the contract extension. We've seen some big crowds at Optus Stadium this year for your games. You went within 3 of making an all-time non-derby crowd record against the Lions in the season. How have you seen the Fremantle Army this year, and would you like to see them really push that 50k mark on Saturday night against the Swans? Yeah,
it'd be brilliant. I think the one thing to come out over the last couple of years is the presence that a crowd has on the game, and really what makes the AFL so special is the passion of the fans and the supporters. And I think within Perth and within Fremantle, to be able to give back to those supporters that have stuck through us over the last couple of years with not being able to attend games, it really makes us feel special. I remember coming and playing at Subiaco Oval sort of throughout 13, 14 and 15 when I was playing at Essendon, and I still think that was probably one of the strongest crowds that the Fremantle, the Purple Army, coming out, and the noise that they would make, and sort of the deaf silence sort of when it wasn't going their way. So I'd love to see more fans come out and support, and I'm pretty confident we can put on a good performance for them tomorrow night.
And considering just how well you guys have gone this season, equal third on the ladder, or equal first in terms of points, do you think that sort of all-time membership record for the club of 55,000 odd is within reach by the end of the year?
It'd be nice, yeah. Hopefully maybe we can do it sooner. So as players, we'll go out and perform, and if they can jump on board, that'd be fantastic. The club's strategic plan and where we're moving towards is only strengthened by the support of the members. So hopefully with their support, we can get there quicker.